to have in the bottom left-hand side our blue Protoss player. This is going to be herO. Just trying to break a bit of a losing streak against Clem.
And his opponent, my personal tournament favorite, it is Liquid Clem.
It is very fun coming into these tournaments, where I feel like in the past I'd come into these tournaments, I'd feel very confident about herO as being like a big favorite, but now I'm like, I think you asked me yesterday who my favorite was, and I'm like, man, I really don't know. But I feel like there's so many possibilities of who my favorite could be. Like, there's just so many people who can actually come out and challenge, and I think that's really cool again, just kind of getting these tournaments where, like I say, usually if herO's involved, it used to be the point where it's just like, yep, herO, he's absolutely my favorite, and he oftentimes would just win everything he would play in. But, yeah, we're seeing that mix up a little bit, and I think that's very fun.
It is fun for sure. So far we're seeing completely standard openers. herO going for that no scout Nexus before Cybercore. I think some consider this greedy, but some others say this is completely safe as well. I've heard many discussions at Home Story Cup.
Good little Home Story Cup basement chatter about Protoss Creed. Seems fun.
Yeah, the Protoss players, some said you can easily hold Proxy Marauder with this, some said, what, are you crazy? And then a little bit of a back and forth. Some believers and some not so strong believers.
Well, a little bit of greed then from herO just to start off with, as Clem is not going to do anything in this game, so for now herO will get away with it, and we'll be able to continue through. So away we go with that, as I just have this Reaper coming around the top side of the map, and is obviously scouting for any potential proxies himself, so Clem just trying to make sure that he is very safe in these early stages as well, that he is not being caught off guard by anything.
Yeah, the bunker as well. I personally hate it when my opponents don't scout, because yeah, you're very often it can be a proxy, but you don't want to go reactively scout when your opponent doesn't scout, because then you're double behind, because you would think that Protoss is the race that's supposed to scout. So Clem does the safe play, goes for a blind bunker without a scout, and scouts for all the close proxies at the very least. Can't jump up here at all. What? What?
It just got stuck.
How was it?
What?
How did you manage to go? It didn't work at first, and then he kept clicking, and all of a sudden it worked. And the same way for the way down. Are you kidding me? Man, I was being coached by Hearthstone when he told me this is a wall.
Yeah, no, I think it's a wall too, no?
It should be.
I've always thought it was a wall.
herO thought it was a wall as well.
Yeah, well, I don't trust herO's judgment on walls, but...
Not a wall, confirmed by Showtime in the chat.
Wow, not a wall.
I've been
Lied to.
I've been misguided. The spot is bugged. Okay. I can't believe he just stands there and spam clicks and all of a sudden gets in. I mean, that's huge, because if he can't jump up there, then he doesn't know it's target. Now he knows it's target and can counter it. Cyclone right away. Second barracks on the way as well. And herO going Oracle into Blink.
Yeah. So now you can just... The Oracle into Blink is one of the most fragile styles as well, because you have nothing that's great against like a lot of bio or some of these pushes straight away, so you've got to be super cautious. You end up in a lot of trouble quickly. The one Oracle doesn't save you versus bio, it just gives you information to try and play around it a bit. The Blink is not ready for a long time, so yeah, this can be tough.
Yeah, Oracle into Blink can feel quite finicky to play with. You feel like you don't have as many units as you would with a normal Blink opener. You don't have the aggression with the early Blink, War Prism on the other side of the map. One thing you do have now, though, is you can still get a lot of stasis wards out and be annoying with the Oracle that way. You, at the very least, have perfect vision with the Oracle as well. Can always get the revelations up. herO's hiding it so far. So herO is saying, you're not getting the rescout. I might just be making Phoenix. He only showed a single Stalker so far, I think. So from what Clem saw, I'm not sure he knows it's Phoenix or Oracle. It's a very fast third base, so maybe that leads him to believe it's Oracle. Oracle, but yeah.
Okay. Some interesting little plays here then, as we continue through. And for the moment, we just get that Blink coming on up. Clem goes into all of his upgrades, so 3 barracks now up. Stim back, combat shield, and +1 will all be beginning here, so we get all of that into play. As the Forge and the Robo facility come through. Our probes are still building, the Blink is still coming online. And yeah, we see a couple more Stalkers being added on into this as well.
Yeah, it's important for a hero that he gets across the map to realize what's going on. Clem only went for a single Tech Lab factory unit, nothing on the starport, so he has very early stim, he has very early combat shields, and he has very early double medevacs. He uses a single medevac, and this will be distraction for his eventual move out, because otherwise it would be it's always a pain to move out against stalkers in front of your base. So he's just biding his time inside his own base. He's trying not to lose anything. And then distract with a first medevac, and then probably move out with all the rest of his units.
Alright,
you can't jump in there, hero. He was, for a second I thought he was going to jump in.
He was about to commit, yeah. Well, bio upgrade's about to be done. We are going to lose a couple units here already to some of those Stalkers. Stasis wards starting to do their thing. As back at home, hero begins the charge upgrade, so gets his follow-up ready. Some of these Stalkers have to turn around and get the heck out of there again as the Oracle comes in for another real revelation. The Marines with the medevac still coming through into the main base, as we do see the bio still chasing those Stalkers away. And the Marines will unload and head into the main, as the Stalkers actually going to have to recall to come deal with this.
That is a lot of Stalkers. He will get that medevac the moment he blinks forward. And he doesn't lose any Stalkers for it either, but that means he has very little units at the front. Clem scans forward. Even the rest of the units went towards the main base. Hero has nothing here. He does have 2 shield batteries though, and a nice concave with the Stalkers. Tries to go in with the Oracle, at least buy some time. And Clem has to go back. Hero ends up defending, and he took the 4th in the corner base. In the top left, very early on. Now goes for the delayed Robo Bay, as Charge is also about to finish up. Losing that Oracle really sucks, because you don't have detection now for those Widow Mines, so you need to somehow activate them before you can clear them up.
Yeah, obviously that's just frustrating as well. That means the Widow Mines, yeah, like this, you got to go in and just blink back already, but then you're not in position to actually go and kill it as well, so it might even get to recharge here. You see these Zealots going to charge up. We're just going to let the Widow Mines do a little bit of work on those. Actually targets the Widow Mine towards the Stalker, because that Stalker blinks back a bit too soon, so the Widow Mine's still active. And right now, Stalkers are not holding up well at all against what is about 6 Marauders just shelling away at them. That bonus damage to those Stalkers is absolutely paying off right now for Clem, who continues to come straight through. I mean, these Stalkers just going to keep moving down the left-hand side. The Immortal is going to try and find a Widow Mine on the right, but that Immortal is also kind of on its own, so it's going to get caught. It's going to get killed. The Zealots might just about push Clem back, but this has been overall, I think, a pretty successful time here for Clem.
Yeah, his warrior had resources lost, and it all stemmed from this one drop into the main base of hero, most of the Stalkers being out of position. Also, if this warp-in finished, if he hadn't focus fired the Pylon, I think that would have been a decent fight for hero. Instead, he had to take the fight without the extra warp-in, and the warp-in overall also got delayed. And now Clem can simply F2 forward his units and keep trading. Like, he's just sending all of his reinforcements forward. The Colossus is still not here. And he's trying to kill this base. He's trying to punish hero for expanding towards the Terran.
Yep, it's definitely working, as you can see. I mean, we're basically being kept alive by Zealot Warpins right now, but Zealot Warpins just difficult to kind of keep trading well with, and the Widow Mines that actually do a lot to help Clem process through this a little bit more quickly. Once again, the Immortal gets rallied into a rough position. It's kind of what happened last time, just didn't even get that far forward. This time it gets taken down freely again, so hero not thinking, I don't think an Immortal's going to change the day here, but it's not exactly helpful to just go losing them like that.
Yeah, one mistake at this level can cost you, and he simply recalled too many Stalkers. He had nothing at the front that allowed him for a very good trade, and then that Pylon barely not finishing the warp. And I think afterwards he was still alive somewhat, but yeah, that warp-in being cancelled snowballed.
Yeah.
Combined with the initial mistake, he even had a shield battery in the main base, so if he even just recalls 4 Stalkers, it's enough.
Absolutely. As our bio continues through, those Stalkers get pushed back. Batteries, Pylon, all dropping here. The probes getting dropped as well. We will see the bio still trading out, and at the end of the day, Clem clearly has way too much. I mean, there's a couple Liberators that are going to take an eternity to get through as well, as we try and target them down. Some of the Stalkers get targeted. The Zealots are going to get cleaned out, and we've got like 2 Stalkers left right now. That ain't going to do it. Clem takes game number 1 comfortably to start the series off against hero. It's just sad. I'm not going to. Top left-hand side. Our Blue Protoss player who is down a game is going to be hero.
And his opponent in the bottom right, it is Team Liquid's Clem.
Game 2. And Clem already just doing what he's done a lot of in this matchup lately, which is get off to a good start, play well throughout, and just really not give the pros a chance to see the later stages of the game, not let them get comfortable, create a lot of high-paced action trading, which is obviously what Clem is very good at because he's a quick player, he moves all over as well, so yeah.
This time also he's gonna have a real wall. Not one where he can hide the tech, but still a wall where the Reaper cannot jump past it.
Yeah, I guess that helps as well.
See, the chat wants to see you in Grandmaster, Wardy.
Yeah,
It's a thing now.
it's a thing. I genuinely think I could hit 4.5k MM on NA very easily. I do not think this would take very long.
What do you think would motivate you more? More people giving you positive reinforcement, saying they want to see you get into GM, or people now talking shit or something? You know, saying, you can't do that.
I don't think I actually, I don't think either of them motivate me.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, like, Twitch chat telling me something doesn't really, make me want to do anything, honestly.
You're not motivated by the haters?
No, I've dealt with haters for like 10 years already. I mean, I was much better. I was very good like 7 years ago and it made no difference, so haters will always hate.
That is true, haters do tend to always hate. hero's gonna proxy an Oracle this game, I think. Or, no, that's too late, right? Is this a gateway or what is this? No, it is an Oracle.
Okay. Proxying it up. Oracle time. Okay. Well, Clem obviously going with the setup here, which means that he's gonna have a bunk on the front, but he didn't scout, right? He just checked for proxies, but he didn't check the bottom left. So he's gonna be completely informationless, as he does get rid of the Adept though, and now he'll be able to get the probe after 2. And with that Adept gone, he might even feel good to get the Reaper across the map.
Oh. Okay, yeah, 2 Marines. I was about to say, not even Clem can kill an Adept and a probe with a Marine and a Reaper. So he went for double Marine before making the reactor, and he lets the Adept into his main base. That's a huge mistake.
Yep.
That is a huge mistake. He has nothing.
Yeah, he has absolutely nothing. So he's going to lose a bunch of mine time. He's going to lose SCVs. The Reaper on the other side, there's an Adept there to deal with it. And that is going to be a big deal. You're going to try to utilize a Widow Mine here as a bit of a defense, but yeah, hero can obviously run around a few different positions. Clem will try to do something on the other side, but the Adept is good at just shoving the Reaper away from where it wants to be. And that is going to leave us pretty much here with this Adept getting now his 3rd kill of the game. This obviously should have never been allowed in, and this just spirals heavily because you're not expecting that to be allowed in, and so the moment it gets in, you're like, oh, not great.
Yeah, not great at all. He also lost the Reaper in exchange for a probe, so hero was good in the multitasking on defense as well. And the Oracle now goes in, kills extra workers. This is the opposite of game 1.
Yep.
Oh, that one!
Oh. Okay, I mean, he even saw this Widow Mine burrowing like 20 seconds ago, which is what makes that extremely painful.
That one really didn't need to happen. He already was ahead as well. I don't think he needs to push his issue there, but okay. It's hero, so that's kind of to be expected. We saw him lose an Oracle just like that yesterday as well.
Yep. I mean, really a shame because there was nothing stopping him. he had right of rain in this in that main base, and he still gets 2 more SCVs here. I mean, Clem's still just bleeding out. An Oracle comes back through, going to come back to the natural. There's only 3 Marines overall, so really not that many. As the Viking chases, and that Oracle is going to get hunted down through the bottom side of the map.
Holy shit, Vikings are good.
Yeah, Vikings are great, man.
He got so many hits in there. Maybe if he microed it slightly better. I mean, it was Clem, but it's with ping as well. Maybe if he microed it slightly better, he even could get it.
But mine burrows up is going to get the depth, so look at that off. And I mean, Clem's going to try and go across the map. He does have, you know, decent-ish army supply. It's Stargate into Blink, or Oracle into Blink is fragile, so this is the moment you really just need to survive through his hero, and then I feel pretty good for him. But that does still involve surviving through this moment as he loses the Oracle. One Stay Sword on the left side only. If Clem walks into that, that would be bad. See if he can notice it. He's kind of wandering right into it.
You can dodge it with a Medivac. You can dodge it with a Medivac.
Oh, okay then. Very cool.
Okay then. Calm down, Clem. Not a single battery is here, and now the Cyclone's looking on. Honestly, you should have enough Stalkers, I think, to clear this over time. At the very least, until the second Cyclone shows up, I think you should fight this a little bit more. The Widowmine really complicates this.
Yeah, because then you just can't walk into this army or chase as much, and that makes the whole situation a whole lot more awkward. And I mean, we're finally gonna have Blink, but even then you gotta, blink back one time. As Probe is trying to bait the Widowmine shot, doesn't happen. Widowmine here is gonna be blinkable from as we come through, but that means the Stalkers have committed their blink. The way he did this means that he's actually going to lose a bunch of Stalkers. Cyclone gets the continued lock on for a little while longer there. Meanwhile, liberating the main base again. Huge damage done, and herO is falling apart. Clem is probably going to lose that Cyclone. No, he doesn't actually, man. Okay, Clem is just monstrously in great position now. What the hell?
Man, that...
I kill the base.
He's dead. He's dead.
Yeah,
he's just dead, Wardy. He's losing the next Oracle as well. It's being F2'd in. If he clears this up... he's not even... He will clear it up eventually, but he lost 20 workers. And his third base.
20 workers. Yeah, the third base is ridiculous.
Sorry, that forward blink, I'm pretty sure he blinked too late, so the Widowmine hit. And then he blinked the rest of the Stalkers on top of the Widowmine splash, and then... I think it was not good.
Really just disastrous through and through.
Yeah, it was not good. Clem was very committed with his push. His extra barracks started out just as the siege was starting to happen at this third base. It really all started with him losing all of these oracles. Imagine him having vision on that Widowmine.
Yeah.
And then he can start poking at that army. There's only a single unit that arranges a Stalker there, and that's the Cyclone. And you can just micro the unit back that is being targeted by the Cyclone, so... him losing the first two Oracles like that truly mattered so much. You can't make mistakes like that against Clem. You just can't.
Yeah, doesn't work out. Not at all. Well, this is rough. As the charge continues through, the Forge on the Robo facility coming up. Nexus will finish on the third bases. I mean, Clem is pretty much just set to go with the full bio. As we do have the little bit of bio just going to step through. I'm just going to stim up. Stalker's going to get chased away. And Clem just going to chase those Stalkers down.
Yep. Clem doesn't need to kill herO with this, but he's most likely going to kill him. Yep. They're even in workers. herO is trying to mass units. He has charge not done yet. He can force field this ramp once if he wants to.
Yeah, he's going to force field the units in. I don't even think Clem needs to step away from it necessarily, though. The tank's going to do a lot. The Widowmines are going to connect on the Zealots, potentially. More Zealots warping in. Still no charge, and it feels like we don't actually have charge for a while at this point. I mean, when the Terran's already hitting you, any second that charge takes feels like an eternity. Stalkers are dying, Pylon's dying. If nothing else, I think we kill the Nexus here. I think he can just sit and target it if he wants to, but... yeah. I set up a couple Widowmines, but... there's still more Widowmines. There's going to be 4 Widowmines here. More Widowmines than Zealots in a second. Jeez. What a brutal game for herO. Just shouldn't have lost the Oracles like he did.
I mean, I thought the game was over when the Adept entered the main base, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that was a ridiculous lead that herO had. And that's not the kind of mistake Clem's going to make a second time around either, right? So, especially with the current form of herO. I feel like herO's been playing very well lately, so... yeah. It's going to be tough. As, he is down 0-2 right now, so he's the likely opponent of herO in that lower bracket. That is herO.
And his opponent, a map away from getting into the winner's bracket finals, where he would face up against Cyril. It is Clem. We'll see how he plays Kingscough. I see this almost in every TvP series, so I would think it's not even that bad for Terran. But in my mind, it's good for Blink. And it's just a large map, which generally tends to favor Protoss.
Yep.
Because that first stim attack is just easier to defend.
I think one of the main things as well is just obviously like this is a map where if you get a bit of momentum, you can't necessarily just run across the map and end. You know, like sometimes the size of the map does just give you a zealot warp in enough to actually keep yourself alive, and if you can do that, then you're kind of talking a lot of the time, right? Then you're in a bit of a playable position. So yeah, I think that's kind of somewhat a factor as well. So
I think hero's playing Stargate again. He had 3 in gas already. He is going core first. He only scouted for the proxy Reaper potential. Or it could also be a proxy Marauder, obviously. At that spot, but core first, Nexus. Gonna go for a pylon as well. Hero sometimes gets the pylon on 20. This might be on maps where the mineral mining is bad. Because of that, the pylon is later, so his first adept is not supply blocked for like half a second.
okay. Interesting little tidbit. Let's just have an adept chrono boost now. Probably do not expect that one to break into the base this time.
No, most certainly not. Clem also is just opening it up differently this time, so the reactor will not be on the way. The moment the adept arrives, it's gonna be done. Like last game, Clem went for Reaper, Marine, and he lost both Marines. And the Reaper was on the other side of the map, so it was legit. The adept arrived inside his base, and he hadn't even started Marines yet. So yeah, it's impossible for this to repeat itself, where we do see hero going for the Stargate once again.
Yep, bringing that through. Now the Stargate is starting up, just gonna have a couple probes, an adept, warp gate, battery, all coming through as well, so we get all of that coming by. And the adept will chase the Reaper.
He scouted the Stargate actually. Hero just left at the worst possible time, where the Reaper had the smallest window to get in there and scout the Stargate.
Yep. There it goes down. Reaper will get to the main one more time.
No way.
Yeah. So frustrating. There's an adept here as well, so we won't lose a worker.
No way. No.
Don't say he's gonna get away.
No. Come on, hero.
Oh my god.
I mean, he messed that up, but holy shit. What the hell? That Reaper had no business ever being... It didn't even have business spotting the Stargate, but it for sure didn't have business staying alive.
Adept gets in the main though, so take what we're given, but this time there's a Cyclone here. It's going to be way less problematic. Clem does a great job of just denying any damage, so it's a scout, but that's all it is. Third CC being seen at least, but I mean, triple CC against the Stargate, you love it, right? As the Terran. I mean, obviously you get that scout, you can react like this and go with that.
Very similar to what we've seen earlier between Skillus and Gumio with this Predator matchup. It's Phoenix Colossus against 3cc Cyclone opener. Like very, very similar. Almost one-to-one the exact same. Gumio actually pre-planned going for 3cc. I'm not sure if this was Clem's plan to begin with, because he had 2 gas instead of just 1. So Clem is floating a little bit of gas now. I don't think he was planning on going 3cc, and then he spotted the Stargate and then he decided to go 3cc reactively.
And now he's just going to be set up with that 3cc, then double racks, double engineering bay. And hero's building Phoenix, and he's got to build an Immortal because he's a little bit... I mean, I actually don't know if he does need the Immortal here. I think he could have got away without it.
Yes. I can tell you he doesn't need it. I don't know why he built it. He saw... It's 3cc.
Yeah, it's just completely unnecessary, quite frankly.
I mean, he can still build it before the robe base time. Like, having a Immortal is not bad, but I would rather see the Nexus before the Immortal, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? Like, it's just the ordering of it. And like you say, like, he could have just been a bit greedier himself in this case to match his opponent, that he figured out what was going on as well, so... Yeah, bit of a mistake, probably.
Yeah, WardiTV is not looking too hot for the Protoss right now. As Clem is keeping up with the WardiTV of hero, and that's good for the guy that has mules, usually. So I would definitely give him the advantage so far. Also, no Forge yet by hero. Is gonna probably throw down Forge and Twilight relatively soon.
Alright, well. And this is a map where you can get up to those Colossus. Defending with the Colossus becomes very nice, so... It's going to be seeing the factory lifting off, going to move over to the reactor. Impact combat and +1 continue to come through. And we will have Fire in the Forge coming online, as he said.
Okay, Clem feels like he has enough units to float over his third orbital now. I do think he has a lot of units, but he hasn't split them, which means he now doesn't really have much in the main base. Missile turrets are good though, so the Phoenix are not going to ignore them. Except they go over towards the left-hand side, and not a single Cyclone here means that herO will get quite some damage done. This was, I think, necessary damage, and that's good stuff for herO.
Yep. It's going to be 6 SCVs going down. We're going to come back through the natural. And just get one more as well. So that's actually pretty nice from herO. Gets in, gets some damage. Makes use of the Phoenix, and is able to get out with him, of course, as well. And Clem is going to start venturing on the map. I mean, he is at the point of finishing his upgrades already, so he would love to try and get some catches. Might lock onto a Phoenix here for a moment or so. It should be manageable. And yeah, going to be very tough for Clem, even if you get across the map. There's not really a lot of opportunity to attack in this case.
Yeah, second Forge on the way already. herO's just trying to power up on 3 base for as much as possible. He went straight 6 gas. Skillos went for a Templar Archives, barely getting for any Stalkers, but herO instead is opting to go for at least starting Blink in case he loses some of his Phoenix. It's never bad to have. Yeah, I think Clem can't do anything like, aggressively. He can poke around, maybe he can kill a Phoenix or 2. But Clem's power spike will be when his 2-2 is done. He's gonna have 2-2 against most likely 1-1.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have a crazy strong army.
He is deciding to go straight to 2-2 as well. Sometimes you delay 2-2 to get Ghost Academy down a little faster and you can kind of build Vikings and Ghosts, but he's gonna go 2-2 and delay the Ghost Academy for the moment, just prioritize some Vikings. Get those numbers up. That's gonna be a nice set of force fields from herO. He's able to get some catches here, so he'll deal some damage as those couple of Vikings continue online.
Yeah, Ghost Academy forward base on the way. Clem can even just play late game. Now, with those couple of pickoffs that herO got, does he want to try and finish the game just like Skillos did? His Templar Archives is not done yet. Does he have a War Prism? I don't think so. I would be watching out if I was herO. I don't think committing in there is an easy call to make whatsoever.
No.
2 scans go down, he gets the Observer.
Oh my goodness. Lose a Phoenix, and the other Phoenix locked onto for a little bit. Clem takes a spread. He's going to jump on this. There's force fields available. He will be used to block Clem up and actually chokes Clem up quite heavily as well. So here's actually able to take the continued decent fight. The Vikings are currently a problem where the Stalkers now will try and deal with them though. Going to get forward for 2 out of 4. And Clem, don't think he should be able to step too much further forward now. Ghost's about to take to the field. I don't think herO can do much else here either. I think he's lost the reinforcement kind of power that he needs to kind of keep coming through. He just added a few more Stalkers to the army, but I don't think that's going to be it.
Yeah, herO taking a sizable lead though. The one part where he still is behind is in the upgrades. But that really needs to carry Clem into a victory now. His fort base got cancelled. His Viking count is only 2. He does have 3 ghosts. I mean, Clem's max out will be strong, but herO will max out first. And he will max out with Storm as well, so that could take Clem by surprise. His charge is super late. Holy moly.
Yeah.
And he's very Colossus heavy. I mean, herO might be able to poke Clem to death, because Clem never went for a second starport, so he has very little Vikings on the map. Which means that just the Colossus poking together with the Stalkers will be difficult for Clem to engage into, especially while he's on the high ground. Now he moves to the low ground where he can get a bigger arc, and then the Colossus are not quite as strong anymore.
Storm is available, and herO may beast on and look for some of those. I think you're definitely onto something about just 5 Colossus is not normal, and if you do not have a good answer to 5 Colossus, then it's dangerous, man. Like, they can do so much splash, and, you know, 2 or 3 you can get through, but 5 hitting you the entire time, it's going to be very difficult. Feedbacks go down here onto some of the ghosts. We're going to turn around and try and snipe, and we do deny the Archon morph that herO is trying to get. We snipe both the High Templar at least, so they will go down. We pull back away. The last Phoenix probably goes down here. Actually pulls back. Maybe could have trailed that Wouldn't Mind onto the Terran army. Either way, the Observer actually lives. The Vikings really want to get that Observer. Will get it in the end as we step away once more. But still, that Colossus count being absolutely terrifying, like you mentioned. To eat through that Colossus count is going to take a lot, and herO's just leading the charge with the Colossus right now as Clem steps up to come in from 2 sides, though. He realizes he needs to do something about this, and coming in from 2 angles is going to be his plan. Pulling the SCVs as well. Storm hits on the left side army. Here comes the flank from the back. 2 of the 5 Colossus go down quickly. The other 3 still surviving. Widowmine is now burrowing up on top of this, but Zealot's charging too, and Clem lost way too much.
GG is called, and herO puts a point on the board. Well executed attack. It's like you can't compete with those numbers. If you first want like 4 to 6 medevacs and then you start making Vikings, realistically you need a second starport. I was a little bit surprised by seeing him not going into that second starport, but I think he couldn't afford Ghost plus 2/2 plus a second starport. I think it would have been too much gas.
Well, we get into 4th map then, as herO will fight back. He's the blue pros on the top right-hand side, looking to try and well, bring this to level. Take us to a game 5 would be very different from how this series started out, because it was all Clem in games 1 and 2.
Clem in the bottom left. I mean, on this map he would play differently if he's up against a Stargate opener. I'm pretty sure he would try to play it more aggressively. Already he's mixing up. He's gonna go for an eBay block. So that's cool to see as well. And herO 3 out of the 4 games so far, we've seen him open up with Stargate, even though there are a lot of pro players that are saying Stargate is now way worse. Obviously, it's a little bit map dependent. King's Cove makes some things possible that are not possible on other maps. But I even like to open up with Oracle. We'll see how he reacts to the eBay block.
And it is eBay block coming down. And we will see, like you say, what herO's reaction will be as Clem just tries to potentially force herO off position with the Nexus and so on. So we'll see what he can do with that. As the probe is just about to come down. It's a very late spot of the eBay block, right? So seeing this so late means it has a lot of HP on it. And Clem even going to come across and play a block on the next base. So here's going to go take the forward base.
No, not this one. Come on.
Okay,
this base is not good. I thought he would take the one to the right of the space, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess if he doesn't need the gas right away, it's not that bad. But it's also 2 less mineral patches, which is really annoying. I mean, I think that base is just bad overall. You even can siege it from the low ground, you know, with a tank push. I'm not the biggest fan of this base in particular.
Well, probe comes down to the bottom again. Factory is about to finish. The reactor coming through from Clem as well. And we'll see. I mean, usually when Clem forces these out of position bases, he does like to kind of follow through with Hellions, and obviously using those Hellions to run into mineral lines that are not usually open to be attacked, where they will be in this case. So let's see what he does as the factory moves to the reactor. First Hellion starts, and the barracks will reland as well and just go back into more Marines.
Stargate opener from herO. I'm fully expecting an Oracle. If I'm being honest, the Zealot runs across. He finished up that Zealot, even though he didn't want to clear the eBay. I feel like he cancelled the Zealot, made the next and then restarted or something. Either way, the Shade would have continued through. It's very difficult dealing with these Hellions. Like, Hellions outrange everything that herO has to offer here. So yeah, 1 Zealot dies, and now he needs to watch out. Phoenix is being started. It's important that these Adepts are in position to deal with these Hellions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Phoenix by themselves will not have enough energy to kill all of the Hellions.
Well, the Adepts is going to pull back. CC about to finish. Barracks coming through. Tech Lab about to finish on the Barracks. Factory will swap over to that Tech Lab. And our Hellions will make their way over to the far right-hand side. So they're going to push themselves over to the right. A couple more Barracks coming through from Clem. And the Hellions get up to the high ground as Adepts are in position initially. And there's a Phoenix here as well that can take out one of these Hellions and get you a step closer towards the removing the one-shot potential. That's a wall as well, so actually Clem is not going to go anywhere with these Hellions. He's going to lose one. He's going to very nearly lose a second to the Adepts, never mind the one that gets lifted by the Phoenix. And with the battery here, that's a perfect defense.
Perfect defense from herO. Clem following this up with a 3 racks without a starport, so he's going to be having an aggressive follow-up, but that start was really bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're going to be aggressive on the follow-up as well. Now you've got nothing done. You invested into Hellions that don't achieve anything for you, and that's definitely going to be a little bit of a problem.
herO's going to go in. No, okay. I'm not sure that would have went too well for him, because the Phoenix were too far away there as well. Plus the Cyclone is out already. I also don't think he should commit in with that Shade. He sees that the Cyclone is not there, but yeah, he doesn't go in, and I believe this time around he's gonna follow it up with straight charge, which I think is good. That's also the only thing that he can do because his extra gases are still blocked. So that's a little bit annoying for him, but if you follow it up with charge, it doesn't matter too much. But it should be decent if he manages to finish it in time against what Clem is doing.
Yeah, if you get there, then it really stops Clem in his tracks, right? You can really outmass the aggressive shove. You gotta really kind of make an effort to get towards it. Charge starts up now. I mean, it's gonna be close to finishing when Clem arrives. If Clem arrives at his upgrade finishing, might be a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I love that he added 2 extra gateways before taking the third Nexus. He now also is trying to chrono boost out the +1 armor upgrade. I think that's a mistake though. I'm not gonna mind. He has enough chrono boosts for the charge. He needs to consistently chrono boost the charge and probably buy some time as well with sentries in the middle of the map. And he might even need to evacuate that base for a little bit.
Yeah.
To buy time, but he cannot give up the base fully because he has almost all of his production there. And half of his mining, obviously. No sentries are out.
The tanks are going to be able to do so much right now. Charge is a way off being done. Yeah, this is bad for herO right now. When you're defending with charge up Phoenix and you don't have charge, it takes a lot away from this. So you're going to be seeing a gateway going down. I mean, Clem is just going to start hitting the Nexus. Obviously, no need to stim just yet. Charge is about 10 seconds away, so we're going to go soon, but I don't think we save the base. I mean, I think Clem just commits to it. He's just going to stim. Now he's going to pull back. You see, the Solar Zealots didn't have charge initially. Phoenix should be able to lift up pretty much everything here for the cleanup, but man, you lose a base. It's obviously very rough. You're going to lose pretty much every Zealot too, so it's not like you have a lot of follow-up on the ground either. Very, very difficult to come out from there as herO. I mean, maybe he's going to go across the map and see what he can do. Clem will put a tank defensively, tries to get a bunker, realizing the sort of situation that he's in. Doesn't have a lot of Marines. Those Phoenix really could do some hard carrying. It's just, there's no ground force, right? There's 2 Zealots.
Yeah, that turret finishing in was huge. For Clem's defense, he would probably kill a Phoenix here. No, barely doesn't get it. Man, it's... Realistically, if he maybe chronoed it out a little bit better, he could have engaged before the Nexus would die. Or, you know, then the Marines are forced to at least focus fire on the Nexus and the fight is a complete stomp. That way, Clem didn't only get the Nexus, but also traded out somewhat okay. I mean, it still was a good fight for herO, but... now it's not looking too great, as he re-expands towards that location. At the very least, now, if he gets up the base, he has the rich gas. Because he mined from it already.
That's true, yeah. Well, Phoenix will get one SCV build in the CC for a moment. Just gotta be careful of those missile turrets. Marine's gonna keep looping around. They have the Medivacs now to do some healing as well. Those Medivacs, Marines, and +1 attack upgrade all building up from Clem. So he's gonna start, I mean, both knowing, I guess, that already herO is on that armor upgrade, so that definitely is a big benefit to him. So that should help if any fights do come about in the near future, although it doesn't look like we're getting any just yet.
They're trying to transition into the Robo Bay. I think the more immediate extra unit production that he could have went for would have been the Templar Archives to get up the strength of his units, but yeah, he's trying to get out Colossus. The question is, will he get those out in time for this tech swap to be somewhat relevant? And I'd imagine Clem wants to press the issue before the Robo Bay production kicks in.
Yep. The Phoenix are going to come around the main, threaten to dive back through. Clem is even moving about. Splendid is arming into 2 pods to try and get a little bit of a pincer onto these Phoenix, but they should always be able to leave through the bottom, which is just what they do right now. A few Marines will step forward. Should not be able to catch those Phoenix that go back into the main base again. There is still that missile turret there, but that doesn't do too much deterrence when there's that many Phoenix in play. Clem's still building 2 more Medivacs, so he's still going very Medivac heavy before going into any Vikings at all.
Yeah, that's interesting. He also has no idea of the Colossus so far. Like, from what he saw so far, this could be either a charge with Archon, could be just mass charge lot with some sentries, or it could be Colossus. The only thing he knows for sure is that herO kept spending gas on the extra Phoenix. Okay, that's huge. He needed to take out that Widow Mine. That Widow Mine was keeping him from entering that that base. I'm very surprised he doesn't actually dive the turret. It's just 1 turret.
Yeah, I really feel like that mineral line's just open. Like, 1 turret shouldn't do too much. There's a lot of Phoenix here. Like, if you wanted to get some SCV kills, I absolutely think you could have had them. I feel like that was the moment, right? You get rid of the Widow Mine, and then feels like there's an opening available as Clem continues to just sit back. This Widow Mine does go off. As Clem currently just happy to sit tight on his third base. A couple tanks set up in between. Another CC comes into position. Another refinery drops down. Again, we have the Blink, the Robo Bay, external thermal lance coming through, and the +2 attack on the Forge coming up as well, as this Marine will get a pro.
And not only the pro, but also the full scout. This is the first time he saw the Robo Bay. 2 Colossus are already out, and that prompts Clem to play even more defensively. And start a second starport. That's his reaction to what he's seen. So herO gets to survive, and he gets to see a late mid game. And probably a maxed out position. That's not necessarily something bad. Clem is very good at those. But still, it's good for him to stay alive.
+2, Blink, both coming online, so getting those upgrades up here. And herO will bring those in. The Temple Archives coming up as well right now, so herO making a step forward, says he's going to be a full set of upgrades ahead, so significant upgrade lead for herO, going to make it very difficult for Clem to take a lot of the fights he might be looking for. As the Phoenix just still trying to pick around the edges, that's basically been this game for the last little while.
Clem keeps scouting with like single Marines. Hey, how far are you at right now? What are you at? What units do you have? What's kicking off on your side? While herO is constantly completely focused on his Phoenix. herO was too afraid to make extra workers, so he stayed at a very low worker count. That also means that his army is going to be pretty sick. Just like Clem's army, both of them staying on just 3 base saturation, and them also trying to catch these Phoenix. I think these need to be recalled. 2 will go down. Yep, before the recall finishes. But these Phoenix have done their job. They have delayed Clem on his side of the map. They have forced a lot of turrets. And they don't scale that well. Like the moment ghosts are out, they're really not that great anymore.
We actually have Clem making his move out, so force the recall on the Phoenix and now immediately across the map. That's not a great portion of the army to have on its own. 2 tanks, the Ghosts, drop the EMP on the Stalkers, at least as Clem just going to pull back here. Really caught a little bit out of position. A few more Vikings joining the fray. I mean, tanks maybe not super essential, something you had from kind of the earlier game. We're going to see herO trying to dive bomb this position. I mean, the Vikings are just going to busy themselves with all of the Phoenix. Now the Stalkers have to protect the Colossus, as one Colossus will go down very quickly. Very different scenario to last game, where this time Clem does have double starboard. He does have a ton of Viking production, so he has the units to fight the Phoenix, then the Colossus very easily. And so I don't think herO really had the right idea of moving up the ramp there.
Yeah, I think that was a bit too far. He obviously needs to fight on the map, otherwise Clem just starts sieging his third base and kills the rich gas from the low ground. And then most likely herO will have to engage into a concave, so I understand why he wants to instantly walk towards Clem's base to force Clem back, but that fight was not cost effective at all. herO with +3 being relatively close to being done. I don't think he wants to take another fight before that +3 finishes, especially into a planetary. Needs to back off there, instead he decides to go in and fight. Not sure if this is the correct call, herO. He barely killed anything, lost a Colossus, lost a lot of Stalkers. That was terrible. That was not a good engagement.
Lost 2 Colossus actually, and the problem is now the Viking count is still good, so we can get the next Colossus very easily as well. Knocks us down to 1 that just reinforced. I mean, the Zealots at that kind of point where they're just kind of bleeding out, trying to run forwards, and this time at least he got some units killed in return, but Clem clearly has enough to keep on chasing, and running away Protoss is one of the worst kind of Protoss you can be. You can see hero's trying to turn around and fight. He does get rid of some of the Vikings, keeps this Colossus alive, but about to see Disruptors coming into play, and they might have to be the saviors of herO in this moment as that first Disruptor shot fires through. Fire units are still going to come up, Assimilators going down. I mean, this is not looking pretty because you're going to start losing production here, and Clem is already in position, concaved up. And, yeah, I mean, herO is in a very rough spot. The Disruptor does not have a shot. It's just going to derp forward, never a good sign. Vikings finish off the Colossus, so the splash damage is all gone. And we just don't have enough Zealots to truly threaten this Terran army, as herO is sub 100 supply. And Clem is looking to close out this series.
Yeah, going for the upper bracket final that we really want to see, right? Cyril against Clem. Absolutely. Or at least that's the one that I want to see. As yeah, these are the closing moments. herO's a fighter. He never quits early, but he has barely any units left over, and he didn't kill economy of Clem or anything like that. Yeah, that fight at the planetary was a disaster for Protoss. No other way to put it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what prompted him to attack there, because the fight previously also went poorly for him, so it was obvious that his army wasn't better. And I think it was right before his +3 finish as well. GG is called. Clem takes a series 3-1.
3-1.